Hey, my name is Joe.
And I'm Mary Beth.
And this is the best of Gen X.
We are in our 40s.
And we're siblings.
We'll talk about adulting in a world so different from the one we grew up in.
So excuse us while we save a generation.
One episode at a time.
Let's go.
Hey, Joe.
Hello, Mary Beth.
How are you this week?
This has been a fantastic week.
I'm glad to hear it. Tell us why.
Well, first things first, the very first IU football player in program history is now the undisputed 2025 college football Heisman winner. Do you know how big that is?
I know that the Heisman is a very big deal. And I asked you before we got started, when was the last time an IU player got the trophy? And you said...
This was it. Number one. This is the first one ever. The quarterback, Fernando Mendoza. Amazing player. Amazing human being.
Yeah, he seemed like a really genuine
his speech
kid.
was amazing. And he paid tribute to his mother, who I believe has MS.
Well,
very touching.
I know that a clip of his interview, like right after the game with all the mayhem happening still, and he was crying and shouting, and he just seemed like...
He seems like a very genuine...
Yeah.
Corny in a good way.
Yeah.
Like awkward to celebrate. He's just amazing.
Yeah.
And he is amazing on the field, obviously. I think he won the vote by about 1,300 votes. I don't know. I don't have context on whether or not that's close. So I don't know if that's considered a close vote, but very happy as a fan of the IU Hoosiers. And they are number one seed. I know this means nothing to you, but I'm just going to throw it out there. They are the overall number one seed, the number one team in the country. Feels great to say that. I'm going to keep saying it because I don't get to say it ever. They're the number one seed in the college football playoffs, which consist of 12 teams. And they are in the top four. They are the number one team in the country, Mary Beth. I will say that one more time. The IU Hoosiers football team is the number one team in the country.
Cheers to the Hoosiers. So
Cheers.
Christmas came early for all us IU fans.
The basketball team still gives me a headache, but the football team, Mary Beth, is the number one college football team.
The basketball team will have their day again.
They will have their day, hopefully. I think they have the right coach, so they just need to get the right mix of players. But yes, very exciting to be a IU football fan at the moment.
Right on. I want to follow up on an earlier episode where I talked about having to get bifocals, and I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
I have them.
Yeah.
I love them.
See?
I don't have to switch glasses constantly throughout the day to read things close up or to see things far away. I have one pair of glasses that I can just see everything with.
Oh, and you were nervous for no reason? Is that what you're saying?
I had good reason because bifocals are a big change, and they do require adjustment. Because you're looking up, you're looking down. And even when I picked them up, they gave me a sheet that I had to stand back and read it. It told me where to point my head and all that kind of stuff. I was nervous for good reason, but I actually love them. I find them to be very helpful, beneficial, convenient, etc., etc.
Oh, I'm happy for you.
Thanks. So, ladies, don't be afraid of the bifocals.
So anything else? Anything else that's happened this week that you wish to share?
I've other than my glasses, my vision, I've had some real eye trouble. I think I have a either new or remerging milk allergy because I've been sipping the hot chocolate like every day for the last month and a half. And I used to have a milk allergy when I was a baby. And I don't drink milk, like whole milk.
I know this.
Yeah,
When
my
we
whole
were
life.
Growing up, I would drink it like after I went outside to play.
Yeah. Like a glass of just plain cold milk, you would never find me drinking. And suddenly I'm drinking whole milk with, just as a festive little tradish.
And you're having adverse effects to this.
I think it could be that because I've not changed anything else.
Yeah.
And so my eyelids are swelling. I'm waking up every morning with my eyes swollen shut, with a nice seal of goop and crust, having to force my eyes open. It's nuts. And my eyes are watering, stinging, red, terrible.
That sounds very pleasant.
It is. It's
I remember as kids we were like, or at least I would say, man, you're dumb for not drinking milk. And you were like all about the orange juice. I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Other than that, things are swell.
Well, I mean, sounds like you're pain free and having a good week.
Things are swell. We do have an audience today. We have an in-studio audience. Audience.
So it's like a laugh track.
Yeah.
So no pressure, Mary Beth. Don't say anything stupid.
I know. I don't like being watched.
Well, it's an interesting time of the year, Mary Beth, as we have discussed in multiple episodes. We are officially kind of in the primo season of the holidays.
This is it.
This
is the time where I start watching Christmas, nothing but Christmas, 24/7.
Yeah, and listening to it in the car. The holidays, as we know, are more than just dates on a calendar. They're the traditions we return to year after year.
It's a vibe. It's a feeling. The recipes passed down through generations, the songs that instantly bring us back to childhood memories, the small rituals that make the season feel like home.
Yes, Mary Beth, Christmas is upon us, so we must talk about some of our own holiday traditions, whether it's off-key caroling, not I, or matching pajamas,
like I,
or pajamas, who, depending on who you ask.
Who's wearing her pajamas today?
Mary Elizabeth Rose.
That'd be me. I've got festive little Christmas tree long johns. Thank you, Old Navy. Not a sponsor yet.
And I'm not going to match PJs with her, but go ahead.
But Josh has matching PJs with me, but he's not wearing them today.
Okay, permission to make fun of him after this is over.
Yeah. Movie marathons that we pretend not to love. Everyone has their own holiday rituals. Let's share how we celebrate the little things that make the holidays unforgettable, shall we?
Agreed. Okay, everybody, so grab a snack, hide from your relatives for a few minutes, and let's talk traditions.
Tradish.
We might also sneak a little bit at the end where we kind of discuss one of our favorite Christmas movies, but and what version we prefer. But okay, Mary Beth, holiday traditions. Favorite one as a kid? Did you have one?
Yeah, my favorite thing to do during the holidays when we were growing up is sorry, we have a dog in distress.
Damn, my dog. My dog, I want everybody to understand. There's 24 hours in a day.
Buddy, just like the elf, he's a senior citizen.
Yes. He's about 16, so
he's about 1,000 years old in dog years.
He's over 100. He's like Dick Van Dyke.
Happy birthday, Dick Van Dyke,
happy
by the way.
100th birthday.
He's in distress downstairs, so one of our audience members was gracious enough to leave her seat and go down to check on him.
Yes. But in 24 hours of a day, Buddy barks probably 2 seconds of it, and he just picked the 2 seconds after
he waits until we hit that record.
Yeah.
Okay, so growing up, definitely one of the things that just made me feel so jolly and cozy and magical at the same time had to be when we piled into the car with our blankets and pillows, and Mom and Dad would drive us around to look at Christmas lights, just through all the different neighborhoods around us. And that to me was probably my favorite thing, because we would be listening to, of course, Johnny Mathis. We had the Johnny Mathis cassette tape.
Yes.
Playing in the Buick, the Green Machine. Yeah.
And we would sing the verses of those songs, and Dad would sing it, and he would be goofy as always, and he'd always go, man, I should have been a professional singer.
Yeah, God, I should have been a singer.
And for some reason, we would get mad. We'd be like, no, you shouldn't have. You're awful. Love you, Dad.
And I like how he would change the lyrics to some of the songs. Mm-hmm. Well, we can't say that. Frolic and Play.
Yeah, we don't want to say that one. But
we didn't say Eskimo.
No, we didn't say Eskimo. But the Johnny Mathis one always Did we listen to other ones? I feel like that was the main one.
That was the main one. And there was some Bing Crosby thrown in the mix, I guess. But it was like Johnny Mathis, his Christmas album is perfection.
Yeah, Mary Beth knows that last year when I hosted it the first time at my new house at the time, remember I told you I went to the Peddlers Mall and found that record? Mm-hmm. And I promise you, I was at the Peddlers Mall because Navy was with me. I was there for probably almost 2 hours, and I did not see that record until the very last minute, like last second I was about to leave.
Like near the register, right?
Well, it was far away. Mm. It was in the furthest most corner of the place.
Oh, okay.
And I said, man, I got to find me this record I was looking for. It was a Frank Sinatra record I was looking for. And I found it. It was almost one of the last 3 records. And there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of records in this joint. And it was the very last, like one of the last ones I saw.
Like a movie.
And it was $2. It was on sale from $4.
And it had that Christmas Vacation where they find the Christmas tree in the forest.
From the heavens above. The light came down on it. So I bought it, and I sent a picture of it to you guys on the way home. I was like, look what I found.
That's why Johnny Mathis is still so special.
And Jennifer goes, ooh, $4. I go, correction, $2. It was 50% off.
But it's worth $1 million to us.
Yeah, I mean, it just had a lot of sentimental value. I own that record now, so I can listen
every time Johnny Mathis comes on.
Together.
Sleigh bells ring.
So some people we say are just meant to sing Christmas songs, and he's definitely one of the top 5
for sure.
people that were just born to sing those kind of songs. Like when I hear his other stuff, I can't even focus.
Right.
Because I'm like, we're not talking about
not the same.
Parson Brown. We have to listen to him sing Christmas stuff.
Winter Wonderland. It's very jaunty.
It is. So I won't pick that one because that was the one I was going to pick.
Oh.
So another one I really liked was we would all watch, because you had to watch it at a certain time on TV. There was no DVR or DVDs.
Oh.
The Charlie Brown's Christmas, or we would kind of make a point to watch that, or the Rudolph, any number of those kind of.
I'll tell you what it was. It was the Claymation.
Yeah, the Claymation.
It was Rudolph, and it was Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Yep.
Charlie Brown Christmas. You did not miss those 3 things on TV.
Yeah, if you didn't get the VHS to like the extra tape or the blank
tape. What do they call
that
now? There's a term, there's a phrase for that kind of viewing that we used to.
Wouldn't be syndication, would it?
No, it's not. It's not like real time viewing. There's an actual phrase, and it escapes me. But I know I've seen it on TikTok that like people have given it an actual phrase now.
Interesting.
But we'll call it real time viewing.
Okay.
Where we just had to arrange our lives around these things. Because if you missed it, you missed it.
Yeah, and if I recall, they came on like one after the other in the same station, maybe.
They may have come on the same station, maybe the same night. I don't remember exactly. I just know that we had to rearrange our lives.
Yeah, it was exciting.
Because we couldn't miss it. Now you can find, which is awesome. You can find whatever, whenever. But back in the day, you couldn't miss.
Yeah, it made it feel different.
Yeah, that was always
something to look forward to.
That would definitely be my number 2.
Yeah,
because that was so much fun.
Yeah, and then outside of just the going to the other family members, homes and stuff on Christmas Eve or whatever, those 2 things stood out to me. Definitely the lights, because we would go see the church. Remember the big Graceland Church had the big light show where you literally had to drive your car.
There was a drive-through lighting event.
It was like a route that they
at
had
a
like
local church.
They had a person at the entrance that would kind of check you in, and you followed cars slowly. And
it was just a very slow, nice ride. But it wasn't just Christmas lights that they did. They had a live nativity.
Yep. Oh,
with real barn animals.
That's right.
And real people dressed as Mary and Joseph and shepherds.
Right. And every time we would approach it, we would be like, ooh.
It was so cool.
Neat.
And so many people our age from this southern Indiana area remember that, because everybody did that.
Yeah. We have an in-studio audience. You remember that, Josh?
I do.
Gosh, that was so special.
That was something nobody missed.
Yeah. And we geeked out when Mom or Dad said we were going to see the lights at Graceland. I mean, we...
Yeah.
And there would be cars for like days.
Oh, it was a long line, but it didn't matter.
I just remember how jolly we got going to the car. I mean,
we were giddy.
It was just an event.
And it was cozy, like, because you're cozy in your warm car.
You're listening to the Johnny Mathis.
Dad's listening to Christmas music.
Being Clark Griswold. He's being goofy.
And Dad's crying in the driver's seat.
This is where our forefathers are.
This is so special.
Yeah. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. But you remember, even cooler, what we would do after that. Do you remember? I'm going to let you see if you can finish this.
Ooh, after that?
Yeah.
Like immediately after that? I don't know.
I'll help you. That's what I'm here for. Pumping my chest. That's what I'm here for. We would hook a right out of the church. And there was a couple really nice neighborhoods in that area, just literally right down the street. And Dad, because they always had houses that were lit up really cool. And Dad would drive, Dad would drive us through the...
He would take us to the elite, to the rich neighborhoods.
Yeah.
To see lights.
To the houses with 2 stories.
And I always remember, I guess what left such a lasting impression on me, and probably you, because of our judginess when it comes to Christmas decorations, probably came from that yearly event where we would get in the car and we'd go look at lights, because Mom and Dad would be critiquing as judges from the front seat. Yeah. And so we learned that mixing colored lights with white lights, that was against the rules.
Yeah.
Mom didn't like that.
Yeah.
Dad, however, liked just a whole splash of mess on a house.
Yeah. He liked a very haphazard looking lights.
He was like, come one, come all.
Yeah. Terry Allen, however.
All ye lit up figurines.
But Mom would literally turn around like a teacher and say, class.
Yeah.
You don't like she would give us the rules.
Don't mix white lights with colored lights.
For all we knew, we were the judge and jury on what looked correct and what didn't, because we just thought we were.
We'd be like, ooh, oh no, you're right. That does look trashy.
Right.
But so we kind of grew up with our own standards set by Terror Bear.
Terror Bear, yes. Yeah, so now I'm an adult with my own lights in my house that Mary Beth has already made fun of and judged.
I'm sorry. When I listened back to that episode, I LOL'd because your reaction to my honesty.
I'm a good sport about it now. When I think back, I'm like, she's probably right. It does kind of look marquee-ish, but listen, I like it.
Like, you look like a bank, but it's okay.
I like it.
Lights are lights.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel.
I'm still
now.
obsessed with the light-up wreath. That was part of the package. I'm obsessed with light-up wreaths, by the way.
I love those.
So, okay, so then how did that shape, or did it, any adult traditions that you have? Understanding, like, Mallory's older and out of the house, essentially.
I don't know that I've been very good about maintaining certain traditions because up until, from infancy to the age of 10, it was just Mal and me. And so, I think one tradition that I did year after year and then continued once Josh came into our lives and his son, who's just a year older than Mal, Mal and I always decorated a gingerbread house every year. I'd always go to the store and pick out a gingerbread house, and we'd always buy extra candy because there was never enough candy that came in the kit. And so, being the creatives that we are, my daughter and myself, we would need extra candy to, coordinate beautiful little setups. And then they continued that once we got married, and even one year Garrett brought like 3 friends, and we did a Facebook competition where everybody judged on who was the best. So we did do the gingerbread house thing.
That's cool. I wonder, we didn't really do that as kids, and I know
we didn't, and that's why I wanted to.
You know why we didn't? Probably, if I had to guess.
Money?
No.
Time?
No, I think it was going to be too messy. I think
yes.
I think Terror Bear would have had a little bit of an anxiety.
Yeah, it is very
it's
messy.
Very messy.
It
I don't
is
think
very
Terry
messy.
digs the messes. It's got to be a coordinated mess.
Yeah,
for Terry to be involved in
Mom is not big on mess.
In
so
such an activity.
Totally see where that would be. Well, and back then, I doubt there were any kits. I don't remember ever seeing that in stores. And so we would have had to bake the gingerbread.
Yeah.
We would have had to put it together. But then in the last several years, your mic just drooped. Make sure it's still on.
Excuse me. Hello.
Technical malfunction. And guess what? I'm not editing that out.
No.
Because I want our listeners to know the real deal.
This is raw and uncut.
This is raw and uncut.
Yeah, my microphone decided to droop down. Okay.
Okay.
You're right, though. It's a ton more effort back then.
I don't ever remember seeing the pre-made homes.
No, you're right.
And when I saw those in the stores, I was like, oh my God, life is so much easier.
Yeah.
And you would just buy the little pre-made house and then put the icing and everything on it. That was always fun.
Okay.
And then because we didn't do this much as kids, I made a point to do the night before Santa. Now, because I was co-parenting with someone outside the house, sometimes it wasn't always Christmas Eve or whatever that Santa was coming at different
you
houses,
had to
whatever.
adjust it, yeah.
I think I always managed to get her on Christmas Eve, but I made a point to set out milk and cookies and to set out stuff for the reindeer. So I would always mix oats with glitter and sprinkle it on the sidewalk. And then in the middle of the night, I would make sure to put like fake hoof prints so that she knew that the reindeer came. Oh, and there's another thing I forgot.
You're literally the most thoughtful and creative person I think I know. I would have never done all that.
When Mal was, I don't know, old enough to understand, like I'd say 3 years old, I had found online this company that would write and personalize letters from Santa. And this was early in the internet age. I know that now you can there are phone numbers you can call and Santa will talk to you, whatever. But yeah, so I would always personalize a letter from Santa, and it came with a Christmas Eve night checklist that she would hang on the door. Mm-hmm. And it was like, leave milk and cookies, check. Brush your teeth, check. Little things like that. And so she would always get that letter from Santa and be so excited to see her name. Like, he knows my name. And it would be addressed to her. And it would come in a really beautiful envelope and a really pretty paper. So I did that every year when she believed.
Okay. I like it. Do you think the tradition of seeing Santa and sitting on his lap at the mall has died down? I don't feel like I see that as much.
I don't see it as much because I don't go to the mall anymore at Christmas. But I bet it's still a thing.
Well, I'm even talking on social medias,
I don't see a lot of pictures. No, I don't see those.
I know they do the Bass Pro one. That seems to be a hit.
I remember doing it.
Yeah, I do too.
Very faint memories.
Yeah, I remember one Santa had really bad breath.
I always felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's a very odd thing that we do here in this country.
Kind of cringy, isn't it? A little bit.
It is a little cringy. I always felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, I did too.
I never really got excited about that. But you're right. I don't see pictures.
I think because you and I were very practical kids, and we were like, we know that's not the real Santa.
Oh, I may have believed it was the real Santa.
Didn't. I knew that was a mall employee of some sort. I knew it was a dude on contract.
You were like Kevin McAllister. I know how it works. You're not the real Santa, but you work for him.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh, I just thought of another tradition.
What?
I guess here I am saying, I didn't keep up traditions very well as an adult because I was a single mom. But
meanwhile, you spout off like 5.
I know. They're all coming to me now that I didn't, I guess, see them as traditions. But up until the last year, and we'll have to consult with Jen, our sister, about why we don't do this anymore. Probably because of her daughter's sports. They're so busy. But we used to bake every year on the 20th or 21st of December. She would come over to my house, and all the kids would be, so all the cousins would be playing and having fun. And that's actually when we would make reindeer food.
Oh, yeah.
Where we'd mix the rest of our oats with glitter and stuff. And we would bake cookies for, we'd start in the morning and bake all afternoon together. And it was so much fun, just me and Jen. And then Mom would always come over, and so fun. I don't know why we stopped doing that.
I appreciate the invite on that.
You probably weren't allowed to come.
I probably wasn't allowed to come. That's true.
But that was a tradition I want to bring back. The last 2 years, we haven't done it.
That is cool. That sounds very fun. I would like to have been involved in that.
Oh, it was great fun.
I'd like to have been involved in that.
Yeah.
Thanks. I did the night before Santa Claus came, because Santa's real, as we know. I would.
Can we stop and laugh at that? Santa would.
Yeah, he would call me from his cell phone.
What would Santa do, Joe?
No, I'm sorry. I don't even know why I was going there, but I did it again. Sorry.
Wait, we do have children listeners who might still believe.
No, I'm sorry. He's real. He's my friend. My 2 kids, well, I say 2 because Ethan sometimes wouldn't get to our house until midnight because he had to be with his dad's family. So I'm not trying to exclude him. My kids would go to bed earlier. Navy and Bryson, their tradition was, as obviously the movie came out at a certain point, so it was after that movie came out. But Polar Express, which you haven't seen, which I hate you for, their tradition was they would watch that every Christmas Eve night before they went to bed. And I always joked that it was the one night of the year that they were like nice to each other. They would like put their arms around each other and have a little tub of popcorn in between them. And I go, oh, look at you two getting along. See,
That's really cute.
It can happen. And I would take pictures of it because it was so rare.
Because I know I have a mental image of them when they were little.
And their little Christmas PJs. Mm-hmm. And Bryson would put his arm around her and they'd have a little tub of popcorn. It was really cute. But that was their thing. And they did that all the way up until, I guess, high school, whatever. So they would watch that together.
That's cute.
It was kind of cool. So that was a little tradition that they had. And so it wasn't something that I don't think I initiated. They just started doing it. And so every year they'd be like, Dad, let's watch Polar Express. It's time to watch Polar Express, So they would do that. I never actually did see the Polar Express, the one that was in French Lick. I never went to that. Did you?
No.
Well, I mean, you've never seen the movie, so you probably never went to the train, I would imagine.
But it was a big deal when Mal was growing up.
Yeah, it was a big deal. They made that a big deal.
But it just looked like a hassle to me.
Yeah.
It looked like a racket.
A little bit of a racket, but... So that was one tradition I can think of. I'm sure there are others, but...
Mal's dad's family has a fun tradition.
Is that the candy cane on the tree?
The candy cane toss.
Yeah.
So the tree goes up, and everybody gets a certain number of candy canes, fake candy canes. And they each take turns throwing it on the tree. And a lot of times the candy cane will fall. Sometimes it'll hook perfectly onto a branch. Sometimes it'll just be wedged in a very ugly way into the tree. But wherever the candy cane lands, it stays for the entire season, which I think is funny.
That is funny.
And they actually have a trophy that they made. So there's a real trophy that gets passed to the winner every year. And the winner, I guess, is determined by like who had the most candy canes that ended up on the tree, because a lot of times they'll fall to the floor if you don't throw it right.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of a fun thing that they do. I got to do it when I was married to him, and so it's been like 20 years.
Gotcha. Yeah, I saw him recently when we played against him, and before the game, he was making reference. He goes, that stupid candy cane toss. Like he had to downplay it. I'm sure he loves it.
Okay, Neil. Sure. He pretends, but he's one of the most competitive people I know.
I'm sure.
So...
Okay, well, what about friends? Like, how do we include friends? Or do we? Or have you?
Well, we were going to try this year. You all did, with a dessert thing.
I know, I was going to bring that up and make fun of you.
Yeah.
We just did our first annual dessert exchange, taste, whatever we want to call it, with Joe
where we were
going to
come with a dessert we'd never
Yes. And I've never made a dessert,
before.
period. And it was a hit.
Yeah, and so I did sticky toffee pudding, which was ready to go. My husband had to work late. It just didn't work out for us. So I didn't even show up to the first one.
Yeah, I did some Oreo fudge square things. Lila made some like little. It almost looked like an oatmeal cream pie, but it's like 2 cookies with some cream stuff in the middle. It was really good. There was some type of bourbon laced pecan pie.
Ooh.
And there was another kind of tarty, raspberry-ish kind of cake thing.
So since our Scotland trip, I talked about wanting to make sticky toffee pudding. And what I've realized, I mean, first of all, there are like 1,000 ways to make it, because I saw no recipe, no 2 recipes were alike online, first of all. That made it challenging. And then most of them who, when you see it come out and they played it, I'm like, that's not sticky toffee pudding.
Right,
That's not sticky toffee pudding. And the only times that I would see authentic sticky toffee pudding were from British people.
Right.
And of course
you picked
they
a
had,
tough one.
And they had ingredients that you cannot get at your local American Midwestern grocery store. But I was ready to wing it. And so I made the sauce the way I was supposed to, but I had to kind of improvise with the actual cake, and it's supposed to come out like really super dense, almost like a brownie.
Yeah.
And my cake was actually cakey. Tasted great.
That's my next question was going to be how
Tasted great.
Was it close? Did it taste close?
No, I mean, the flavor.
Be honest. If it didn't, it didn't.
It didn't taste close because I used a store-bought spice cake mix.
You know what? Joe and Annie wouldn't have known the difference, but I would have.
Joe would have known the difference.
Because I've been there and I've eaten it.
Well, anyway, So it tasted great. It tasted more like a Christmas take on a tres leches. So it was like an infused, moist, like wet cake. I would call it a sticky toffee spice cake.
You said moist.
Sticky toffee spice cake. That's what I'll call it.
Okay.
The sauce was really good that I made, but wasn't the same.
I like it.
I may try again sometime, but I did put real dates in it. Go me.
Well, like I said, my Oreo fudge was a big hit. It was very
So
rich
glad
though.
for
You
you.
could, I mean, there were 16 squares. I think we only ate 5 or 6. It was so rich. Everybody just ate one.
Well, one thing that I noticed that people do is like a Friendsgiving now. Friendsgiving is a thing. Have you noticed this?
Yeah.
On
a
the
little bit.
socials, I see the Friendsgivings. And I guess that's for, I don't know. I don't understand why people, like small town people who still live in their small town, who are still surrounded by family. I don't quite get the Friendsgiving thing. But if you're like in an urban area, you're living far away from family or traveling to family is not feasible. I get it. That would be awesome. But yeah, we haven't really done anything like my circle's so small.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be.
We know. Josh knows.
But there's also but I think it would be cool. I think it'd be fun. But there's also something new that I haven't seen until this year called Grinchmas.
I'm not familiar.
All right, so now we have to start incorporating Grinch-themed Christmas parties into our rotation
Like
of
the
events.
whole party is from the movie. Like,
Yeah, just like very Grinch-specific decorations, Grinch-specific treats that you make.
I wonder why. That's a big thing now.
I looked it up, and I know that they do a Grinchmas at like one of the Orlando theme park.
So somebody's just playing on that, maybe.
Yeah, so just like, oh, we're going to have an ugly sweater party. That's another thing people do, ugly sweater
Have
parties.
you ever done one of those?
I've never done one, but I think they're more of a professionals. I've only seen them more of in a professional setting, like an office party, an ugly sweater office party. But yeah, Grinchmas is new on my radar. That you just have an additional party to throw with friends and family. That's all about the Grinch. I like the original cartoon Grinch, but not enough to have a party around it.
Do you like the Jim Carrey one at all?
It gives me a headache.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's a little too much for me.
a little loud. A lot going on in that
A little
one.
obnoxious.
I mean, it was well put together, I think.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like the set and the
Yeah.
characters.
Not to dismiss anything,
Yeah.
any credits to the movie, but for me, it's a little too much.
Yeah. And he was clearly the right choice for that part.
Because
but-
he's a little too much.
Yeah. But, gosh, you know that movie's like 25, almost 26 something years old now.
I already feel old.
It's crazy.
Well, let's take a break. When we come back, I want to give some country and listener feedback updates. We're going to do our hot takes. And then talk about a little holiday tradition that I'd like to start and that you may have officially started with your recent trip to NYC last week.
Let's do it.
So let's talk about that and our own unique holiday tradition that everyone in the world needs to know about.
Okay. Hey, listeners, do you like judging people as much as we do?
Then judge us.
To submit your criticisms and complaints about our show, you can reach us at gotohell@bazinga.biz.
For all other comments, questions, or suggestions about future episodes, drop us a line. Send us a text from our website at thebestofgenx.buzzsprout.com and click on the link just above the show notes.
Or email us at thebestofgenx@gmail.com.
We're back. So,
We are back.
I have some updates for everyone.
Bring it. Let's go.
Well, I'll start with listener feedback.
Okay.
This is from Joseph D. from Boston.
Pack your car in the Harvard Yard.
Wicked smart. If I can read this. Okay. Hi, Marybeth and Joe. Your Thanksgiving episode made me smile. The back and forth about what you're actually grateful for and aren't was like eavesdropping on one of my own sibling debates. You really tapped into what it means to navigate adulthood today, balancing nostalgia with the stresses of modern life. Thanks for continuing to keep things real and fun on your show. Thank you, Joseph from Boston.
Joseph D. He's
Appreciate
pretty cool because of his first name.
Yeah. Are you ready for a country update?
Always.
Last episode, we were in 65 countries. We're now in 66. Welcome, Honduras.
Honduras. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. Honduras. Sweet.
So thank you, Honduras, for joining the party.
Wait, do they speak Spanish? Honduras.
See, our audience confirms.
Gracias.
See.
Okay. Our Honduran consultant confirmed. Well,
Welcome.
Honduras.
You know what that means?
I do know what that means. That means
Hot takes. Time for hot takes.
Party time. Excellent.
Woo, 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 woo.
Woo.
You're very excited. Do you want to go first?
I do. Okay. My hot take for this episode. Spaghetti is objectively the worst pasta noodle. It sucks at holding sauce.
Yeah.
It doesn't mix well in the dish itself. You'll get a bite of a bunch of noodles, or you'll get a bite of the sauce and whatever else you have in your dish, but never both simultaneously. It's long.
Even in your mouth, they taste separate.
Exactly. It's long and gangly and hard to scoop onto your plate without making a mess. No single utensil is really made for getting it from your plate to your mouth.
You're right, because it takes a spoon and a fork.
Is there any redeeming quality other than it's kind of fun to say in a vaguely racist Italian accent? Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Every single pasta is better than spaghetti noodles. Why is it so popular?
Good question.
My mind's blown.
Think about it.
That's a good one.
I know.
It's something that I think many of us will admit to agreeing with, but it's something we've never voiced out loud.
Yeah, I'm glad I had that on a podcast episode.
Not
so
enough people are talking about this.
Yeah, so what I just said can live forever.
Well, our listeners in Italy might have something to say about it.
Oh, sorry, I love spaghetti. Oh, spaghetti.
All right. Well, for my hot take, I got to say, the stretchy spandex-like single limb garment worn by NBA players are bullshit.
Oh.
I have thought this since they came out. I saw baseball players. Just one day, it was like the rapture. We wake up and suddenly athletes are insisting upon a sleeve separate from their uniforms, or a leg, like one legging, like not a full pair, just a legging on a leg, dribbling around the court. And I gotta say, they're bullshit. They don't do what you say they do. All they are a fashion accessory used by players in our modern time to stand out, because no longer are we shocked by the, what's his name with the colored hair and the tattoos?
Oh, Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, the Dennis Rodman days of shockery are over. So we had to find some other way to stand out on the court. The problem with that is that this trend caught fire so quickly that you didn't stand out but for 2 minutes, and suddenly your entire team looks like a full leotard Jane Fonda, slap a sweatband on your head and leg warmers and start doing aerobics. That's what y'all look like. It's a fashion accessory. You can't convince me otherwise. They don't help nothing. The end.
Are you ready for my take on this?
Okay.
Because I just happen to coach basketball.
Yeah, I think they're a joke.
They're completely ridiculous.
They are.
And someone in this room, Kajal, saw this on the screen yesterday watching a game, and she said, "Why is he wearing that big like compression sock looking thing on his leg?"
Yeah.
And my exact words were, "It's an accessory."
It's an accessory. Thank you. It's a fashion choice. It's the new Dennis Rodman. I'm trying to stand out because we're not shocked anymore by colored hair,
Have to have attention.
crazy hairdos, crazy tattoos. I got to have a sleeve on. And I have to have like one full white leotard on a leg where you all just, it's basically just a full undersuit, a full leotard.
Yeah. I don't know who started it necessarily. I know when we grew up, Josh and I grew up during the Jordan era, he would wear the little sweatband on his, like, little wristband.
The sweatbands are different. They actually catch sweat.
But of course, Jordan made it cool to not wear it on your wrist because it's a wristband, and he would wear it up here, like the midway part of his forearm. But then he would wear the knee brace, which he probably needed, but it just kind of made that cool. Mm-hmm. And then he wore the spandex under his shorts that you could barely see. So that's been around a while. Mm-hmm. But this whole, like, full length, like, compression sock looking thing on your leg.
Yeah.
What they call the quote unquote shooting sleeve that they put on their arm.
Yeah.
Because, you put that on your arm and you're just magically going to shoot better.
Sure.
Because it's called a shooting sleeve.
Or I'm a baseball player and I'm going to wear one, but it's not white. It's decorated.
Listen, don't even get me started on the baseball stuff because the
such
base runners are doing the oven mitt thing.
It's just another thing that parents have to buy so their kid can look like all the other kids on the field.
I coached the travel baseball thing for years.
It is bull.
Don't even get me
shit.
started on that. There's some of the funniest TikToks are grown adult men making fun of kids that play travel baseball, and they'll go up to the plate and they'll be wearing like 30 things.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Yeah,
but the basketball thing I don't understand either because it serves no purpose. There's no shooting sleeve that fixes your shooting or makes your elbow feel better or whatever the hell they wear it for.
Yeah.
It's totally for attention. I've coached at multiple levels: elementary, middle school, high school, AAU, and even the youngest of youngest kids are wearing these shooting sleeves. And the shooting sleeves are like
if it's not copper fit, it's an accessory.
Oh, here we go.
And the shooting sleeves are like loose on their little arms.
I almost mentioned copper fit because
Trademark. Yeah.
my husband is obsessed with copper fit. He's convinced that they work.
They do.
And the braces that they make, like for your back, for people who have like heavy duty jobs, they do.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I use a copper fit when I go to the gym to work out. I use one over my left elbow because I have left elbow, like, it hurts, and it works.
So I can see that. In copper fit, I used a knee brace once when my knee pain started. Okay. But this whole spandex little sleeve, no. Bullshit.
It's just another reason for the parents to have to spend another $30 or $40.
Yeah, because they want to look like the people playing basketball in the NBA.
And I can promise you, 10 times out of 10, it does not help their performance.
Yep. Nope.
I just like to argue.
No. Well, you can't argue that now because, like I said, it caught fire too quickly.
Well,
and now everyone wears them.
Yeah,
so.
Early 2000s, Allen Iverson started wearing the shooting sleeves and the elbow.
I knew that dude would be in the middle of this.
He started wearing the headband and he had the shooting sleeve, and then Carmelo Anthony started doing it.
He was the one person in my mind who sort of, if any torch was passed from Rodman days to this stupid trend.
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised that he would be at the center of it?
I hate to say this because I really loved him, but rest in peace, Kobe Bryant started doing the shooting sleeve, and so kids just inevitably just lashed on towards it.
Well, I'm glad we're all in agreement.
Yeah,
Council has spoken,
and it looks silly.
Take that shit off. Let's talk about the holiday tradition.
Okay.
Holiday tradition that really rips. Now I'm talking a lot like Josh. Jawsh. He was on ESPN. Like, this dude is awesome, and you need to follow him on TikTok. He's just fun, and he has these cute little quips every day. You know, something in your 30s that really rips? Soup, man. And he's just fun. So holiday tradition that really rips. We have talked about, we have never been holiday travelers. I think we create such ambiance in our homes that I don't want to leave. Like, I don't understand people who leave at any time from November to January 1st to go to somewhere tropical, or like, I want to soak in every shining, sparkling moment of the atmosphere that I create for myself. However, since we started traveling, I have mentioned that I would love to maybe do it every other year. I'd love to go somewhere during Christmas time. To another country, perhaps, where the streets are those old village type, decorated for Christmas, snow everywhere. I'd love to try that. You may have started that tradition yourself because you just last week went to NYC.
Yeah,
I had been there. You had not. Yeah. I went in June.
Yeah,
I don't recommend it.
I've been there at different times of the year, but not December.
Well, tell me about it. I do want to hear about your trip.
Okay, so it was, I wouldn't say it was fairly last minute, but it was probably a month or two ahead of time. We booked, Kajal and I went to New York City for her birthday.
Yeah.
it worked out well because her birthday is December 8th. And by that time, New York has the Rockefeller tree lit up. It's got all the, the shops and the restaurants have a lot of Christmas theme to them. And so, you watch Home Alone 2 and he's lost in New York, and you just kind of get that feel.
Well, everybody knows the Rockettes.
Yeah, the Rockettes.
The Rockefeller Center.
Ooh, and I have something on that, by the way. So we booked that trip for the birthday, and the first thing we had talked about was the Sinatra experience because I'm a Frank Sinatra fan. So, you have to book that well ahead of time. It's normally only on Saturday nights. It's at the Carnegie Club. It opened up to Friday, so it just worked out perfectly where we flew in Friday afternoon, had some time to do whatever, check in, and then get to the Sinatra experience, which didn't start till 10:30, which you would not have made. So
it's just like a dude singing Sinatra songs.
Yeah, he's an older gentleman, so he didn't really resemble Frank Sinatra very much, but he didn't really even sound like him, but he wasn't an impersonator. It was more of a tribute. Mm-hmm. He had an orchestra behind him. The Carnegie Club has this old 1930s, 40s feel to it.
Sure, yeah. Big band.
Yeah, and it's a cigar bar lounge type thing where it actually has cigars on the menu from $20 all the way to...
So it was very much a Rat Pack kind of environment.
Very much a Rat Pack kind of vibe. I felt like I was going to turn to my right and see Dean Martin
right.
there. And dudes were wearing suits and stuff.
And,
a Gen X experience that I had, John Starks, former NBA basketball player for the New York Knicks, was there in a chair smoking a hog, watching the Knicks play a home game.
So are we going to run into famous people every time we...
Don't think that wasn't brought up. I said that podcast... it's just
Did you meet him?
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay.
Because it's me and I'm on a trip.
Right.
So last trip was Lupinella's, one was John Starks. Now, I grew up a Jordan fan, so the Bulls-Knicks kind of had a rivalry there in the early 90s, and I shook my hand. He was literally just sitting there by himself.
Wow.
And there just wasn't a lot of people around. And I said, man, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I have to say, I grew up during that era, blah, blah, blah. And he was very cool. He was like, oh, thanks, man, shook my hand. But he was just sitting there smoking a hog on a chair. He apparently works for the Knicks front office, and the Knicks had a home game at Madison Square Garden near us. And he was watching the game on his phone, perched up against this little light thing while he was sitting there smoking a cigar.
Nice.
It was really cool. But he was by himself, and so we were there a couple hours maybe. It wasn't really like a full themed restaurant. They had little finger food type things you could order, but it was mostly drinks and cigars. And we got in, met a cool young couple from Liverpool.
Oh.
Which one of the first things I had to say was the Beatles, and you kind of have to
Good
say
day,
that.
mate.
Yeah,
let's throw another shrimp on
And the young guy was like, oh, yeah, that's us, yeah? And he, I said, that has to be annoying that everybody brings up the Beatles. He goes, yeah, a little bit, yeah. So just FYI, if you meet somebody from Liverpool, they probably don't like that so much, but I had to. So I gave him the spiel, because we had to stand in line until we got in, kind of thing. So as luck would turn out, they sat next to us. As funny as, I feel like we stumble into these situations where we meet people that have some type of connection with either where we live or where we've lived before, what we've experienced. There was a cool group of 4 people right to our left that were from, I think, close to the same area where Kajal did her flight school training. So we just talked with them. We were taking videos and pictures, and they were photobombing us and, putting peace sign behind. It was really funny.
Nice.
But they were a cool group of people. And we just talked about kind of our affinity for Frank Sinatra and kind of had some of that in common. So
what was your impression of New York this time of year and your extended stay?
Yeah, first of all, it's cold as hell.
Right.
Really cold, windy. But overall, it just felt like it just puts you in that. It puts you in that frame of mind. It puts you in such a headspace where you're just it's everything I thought it would be to get me in that Christmas spirit, that mode. Everything around us was, decorated. The tree was just amazing. And
well, there's something very iconic about New York City at Christmas in our minds. Mm-hmm. It's almost like stepping into a Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's kind of what I felt like. I felt like I was in the Home Alone movie, Home Alone 2, and seeing some of that stuff up close. Because I think the latest I had been there throughout the year was mid-November. I'd been in New York City before, and they were just kind of putting the base of the Rockefeller tree up or whatever.
Yeah, in June, it was so. And with all the concrete, I'm telling you, that the heat and humidity. Ooh.
Yeah, but I put this itinerary together similar to what I did for Scotland, where I was trying to find cool breakfast spots that are had high reviews, but maybe were unassuming. And then there was a couple of restaurants that we ate at that were Christmas themed. Mm-hmm. There was a German restaurant of all places, and it had Christmas decorations on the top, on the side, just everywhere.
Awesome.
And they served, which I showed you and Jennifer and our mom, the boozy like holiday drinks that they made.
Yay.
They had like little candy canes sticking out.
Yeah, you sent us that.
That was the place I got the boozy hot chocolate. Was
that
really
looked
cool.
magical.
Yeah.
That looked like they were crafted in Santa's kitchen.
Right, exactly. So we did that kind of stuff.
But did you see the Rockettes dressed up?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So part of the itinerary was you can do a Radio City Music Hall tour.
That was the one thing of New York that I loved.
Yeah, it was so cool.
It's gorgeous.
And last time I went there I was with Ronnie, and that wasn't part of our deal.
Dudes on a trip.
We were there for a basketball.
We've got to go
tournament.
check out Radio City Music Hall.
We were there for a basketball tournament at MSG, and we weren't trying to go see the Rockettes. But I had always wanted to go inside a Radio City Music Hall. It's just, I'll tell you what, just seeing like you could appreciate this. Just seeing the light outside, like the marquee. And
absolutely.
The name, it just felt it was otherworldly.
Yeah,
almost
like it is real.
Right. And so I was taking pictures as we were close by, and I was like, Mary Beth would love this, And so I did book tickets for that, and they were very reasonable, like $40 a person.
Yeah.
And there was about 10 or 12 people in the tour, and they just had a private tour guide. They have several.
I did a tour as well. So I've done the tour.
So I would recommend it to people if you just want to see kind of what the Rockettes.
And it's got such history.
It's got such history, and they show you a little video. They show you the stage.
And that the stage itself and the room, the way it's shaped, it's small and huge at the same time.
Crazy.
How is that possible?
It's
just the way
crazy.
the architecture of it is really bizarre and stunning.
Yeah, and it was constructed and pitched like in the 20s or 30s.
Yeah.
So to have that kind of like vision.
First elevators.
Yeah, and so you've done the tour where we were up on the upper level where they had these glass windows or whatever. You're walking through this hallway that have all these cool posters of movies that have been shown there, and they let you sit there and look through the window and watch 5 minutes or so of their act, and they go, wait a minute, you're going to see their legs do the kicks, the synchronous kicks, and we waited about 30 seconds. They started doing the kicks.
You're watching real Rockettes.
It was so cool.
We actually had a Rockette like in a private room.
We did too.
Yeah.
So they show us the little video, and then we got to meet a Rockette. We got to take a picture.
And she talks about
her
what
experience.
it's like.
Yeah, they're like year-to-year contracts. They do auditions, and some jokester was like, "How much do they get paid?" And the lady goes, "Pretty well."
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
I love that some traditions prevail.
Yeah, and they talked about the carpet being redone, but being redone with the exact carpet that was initially installed, the design or whatever.
Remember the giant chandelier in the lobby?
They talked about that.
I was so fascinated
It was on
by
that track thing.
I was so fascinated by the cleaning involved.
Yeah, they talked about that. They said, now, believe it or not, these chandeliers do come down, so it's easier, but it's on this track thing that goes around.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
It's just a neat place.
Yeah, it's just a really cool place.
Did you go to Times Square?
Yes.
Times Square.
We actually stayed in Times Square.
Did you? Okay.
like literally
now,
a
for
block or two away.
convenience, that would have made my trip a whole lot better, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Times Square itself was my biggest nightmare. I mean, I don't know what it was like in such a cold season, but
It was still surprisingly busy.
okay.
A lot of traffic,
And
a lot of foot traffic.
Were you overwhelmed by the lights?
I wasn't because I've been there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so-
Because I was the first time I'm in Times Square at night, the lights of all the screens, it's very jarring.
Yeah, I love
And not
that.
necessarily in a bad way, but I felt like I was on another planet.
Yeah, my early days at Humana, we had an office in Jersey, and we took Penn Station to Times Square, and we all took like a group picture, and I was just in awe. I loved it.
It was so crowded,
Yeah, it was very crowded this time too.
incredibly crowded. And I'm sure you didn't see this like I saw, but there were, people, I call them hustlers, trying to
Oh yeah, Canal Street, they have like the knockoff.
come up and
Louis
try to take
Vuitton.
pictures with you and then charge you for
Yeah, yeah,
said
yeah.
pictures. But I saw
thought you were gonna talk about the Canal
I saw
Street
women
vendors.
wearing nothing but body paint,
Yeah,
not panties, not bra, just paint, with children around.
yeah, yeah. It was too cold this time.
Yeah, too cold for
I think we
that.
did but no, we did that. We stayed in two different hotels. We were only there for 4 nights, but we stayed in the Lower East Side, and then we stayed in around Times Square. And both were really cool spots. We met people at the bars of each hotel that were fun. We met a dude from San Diego who was wearing a San Diego Fire Department T-shirt, but we found out he was just waiting for his order, so we just started chumming him up. He wasn't a firefighter. It was his friend's shirt, but he starts talking to us, and he goes, and we started mentioning Scotland. He goes, "Oh, I was at Scotland this year," and we were like, "When?" He was in Scotland the same time we were.
Get out.
He was showing us pictures of Scotland. And it was dated the same time we were there.
We could have been in the background of one of his pictures.
Right. I'm gonna check, but he was there 3 weeks. We were there too, obviously. But that was pretty cool. And then on top of that, same dude. His name was Mark. Shout out Mark. We told him about the podcast.
Mark,
yeah. He said that his best friend is in Louisville.
Oh, wow.
He's like a mortgage broker of some sort.
Both mortgage
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he's a mortgage broker in San Diego.
Nice.
La Jolla, to be exact.
And they're looking to move to Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, they're looking at it. And so we start talking about our Pacific Northwest trip.
As am I.
Yeah. So,
One of these days, I'm just gonna leave a note.
Yeah. So that was really neat. Then there was a couple there with like a dude's sister that lived in Arkansas or Oklahoma or somewhere. And we just started chatting with them. He actually asked me to give him a picture of our podcast so he could look it up on his phone. So that was really cool.
Awesome.
So we had just little interactions like that.
So would you say you enjoyed being away from your,
Everyday kind of routine.
well, your nice holiday nook and going somewhere else?
Yes.
A place like New York?
Yes, because it's still early enough where it doesn't conflict with like the spending time with family, like Christmas week.
That's what I'm talking
The
about.
Christmas week, because it was just a couple weeks before the actual Christmas week, but you still got everything you needed to get that holidays Christmas vibe.
I'd like us to put I'd like us to put a little trip like that on the radar for us this coming year.
I would do it in a heartbeat again. It's totally worth it. We didn't even talk about the holiday market, so
I want to basically go somewhere where I feel like I'm living in a snow globe for a few days.
New York City the first week or two.
Not New York, somewhere else, like more villagey.
I got you. Well, but I do want to say that they had Bryant Park had a holiday market, which was really cool. Very crowded, but very cool. And they just had little shops, in the park or whatever. They had little shops that were selling Christmas decorations, and you could get hot cocoa, and they were playing music, Christmas music. And then Columbus Circle had a holiday market, so I basically figured out where the holiday markets were, and we would go there. We sat in a Starbucks because it was super cold, so we were trying to kill some time before the holiday market opened at Columbus Circle, which is where that Columbus statue is. It's really cool. And we met an old gentleman there by the name of Joe Taylor. His name
Hello,
is
Joe Taylor.
And he has lived in the city. He's from Kansas City. He has lived in the city for like 40 years, just him and his dog.
Wow.
Obviously, the dog's not 40, but his dog now was in Starbucks, and they were just sitting there chilling. And he was like, "Oh, here, sit here. There's an open seat," because it was really packed. And we sat there for an hour and talked to that dude. And he was telling us his account of like September 11th, the day of. He was just telling us about that kind of stuff. He was telling us his life story.
Really cool.
Yeah, he's one of those dudes that's like a certified lab tech, but he also knows how to do. He bartended, and he just did all these like different.
And he's also a chess champion.
I was just saying, like he just did all these cool different things, and he's lived in Paris for several months. And
wow.
We just had the best conversation. His little dog was like going up to consoles, laughing, staring at her, and like it was just a really cool kind of like. My life is a little bit more complete that I met a dude like that in New York City. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, very intelligent. Yeah, he reminded me of like one of Dad's brothers. He just kind of the way he talked about things. He tried to get a little political at the end, and that was like right as we were getting up and leaving, so it was probably good for him.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying. When people later realize, I just had a wonderful interaction with a Trump supporter.
Yeah, so we didn't go there. We were literally getting up as he was talking about, narco terrorists getting bombed and how pissed he was about that. So anyway, great conversation, and we literally walked out there going, and that was super cool. Like, we need to go sit at a Starbucks tomorrow to meet a random person like that. So we had a really good time doing that. We walked by Juilliard, which was neat. We like hit a Target, but they were all right there, by the Columbus Circle. So the holiday markets I would check out, super neat. And then for her birthday dinner, there's a place called La Grande Boucherie. So it's like a French type of cuisine place.
It sounds bougie.
And let me tell you something. It is like your typical like TikTok video. You need to go see this place because it's decorated like Christmas. It's very bougie. It's very like high end looking. It's just super cool vibe. So we go there for dinner. So I got us a reservation, and we sit down, and that was right before I texted you and Jennifer that I just had the best espresso martini. Like, I might fly to New York City tomorrow to get one.
Oh, yeah, the picture of that martini.
It was the best espresso martini I've ever had in my life.
But
The service sucked.
great.
Not the bartending service. Like, the lady that waited us at the table, she just seemed very put out that we were,
Yeah.
giving her money.
How dare you?
Yeah, providing for her. But the food was great. The decor was
beautiful.
beautiful. The music, everything was cool. So I recommend that place.
Well, I'm glad you had a great time.
And the Italian restaurant was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, of all places, we're at the Lower East Side Hotel, and literally from here to this part of my wall, there was a little Italian restaurant that was so narrow you could barely like walk straight in it. You had to kind of
Wow.
walk sideways. But we posted up at the bar, and it was amazing food, cool service. So we just had a good
So it
time.
was almost literally a hole in the wall.
Literally, like I myself was so broad I couldn't walk like
Yeah.
a traditional way. I couldn't
Ah,
walk.
sounds just like something I would hate.
Yeah, no, it was cool. We found an IU themed bar / restaurant called Reservoir to watch the
In
IU
New
game.
York?
Yeah, to watch the IU game.
An IU themed?
Yes.
To watch this
Yeah.
game.
Well, first of all, the alumni base is huge in like New Jersey, New York.
Okay.
And the owner or part owner told me, I was like, "Did you go to IU?" He goes, "Nope, there's no connection with us." He said, basically, 16 years ago, there was a couple of regulars that went to IU that were like basically begging us to put an IU game on the screen. And he goes, they just kept coming in, and it just became a thing. And so the servers wear a crimson T-shirt that says Reservoir with the little tail, cursive tail thing at the bottom, and then it has the IU logo underneath that.
Oh, that's neat.
And so, you'll see the IU flag.
So
in
it's sort
there.
of like they accidentally found a
Basically,
demographic.
But then they figured out that would stick.
Yeah.
And
A demographic they didn't know existed.
yeah, so all I did was Google IU themed bar restaurant in New York City, and that was like the first one that popped up.
That's really neat.
So it was called Reservoir, and there was a bunch of IU people in there for the basketball game. And he goes, tonight for that football game, because that was the night of the Ohio State, the Big Ten Championship game. He goes,
big
this
game.
place will be
was
wall to wall. He goes, it's booked. It'll be wall to wall. And so I thought to myself, we were in the hotel room watching the end of that football game. I was screaming because we won. I was like, think about what Reservoir is doing right now. That
You
place
know,
is probably going bananas.
I am visualizing what you're describing to me, and it's bizarre to imagine, bustling New York City. I said buzzing. I'm buzzed.
Yeah.
Bustling New York City with a ton of IU fans going nuts.
Oh, it's
Isn't that hard
crazy.
to- that's hard to
and when we were
imagine.
walking through the holiday market, I caught some like older guys wearing like IU hoodies and IU garbs.
That's crazy to me.
Cool. Felt like I was at home a little bit.
I guess I was trying to say bustling and puzzling at the same time.
Yeah, talk right, Mary Beth. What's wrong with you? You call yourself a podcaster.
I know.
So
Fire me.
Yeah, so Kaj had a hankering for Chinese food, and I'm a big China buffet guy. So we had just taken like, there's a bunch of tourists around the Rockefeller tree taking pictures. Like, oh, let us in. They wanted the tree in the background. So we took our picture with the tree, and then we walked just a little bit down the road. To the left was a really like swanky Chinese restaurant. It was like a legit Chinese restaurant where
What was it called?
Joe's.
Get out.
Yeah, what was it? Joe's soup. What was it?
Joe's
I got the chopsticks.
Soup dumplings.
Soup dumpling something or other. It was a really nice place. And so we ask them if we can see their menu, and we look at it and we're like, oh yeah, this will work. So we sit down and eat at Joe's, and they had so much food, even I couldn't finish it. And I love Chinese food. I mean, I could not finish it. And we had leftovers that were enough to feed like 2 people. And I said, yeah, I go, we'll just give it to like a homeless person. Cause like it or not, there's plenty of options for that to go around in New York City. So we get in the subway.
Oh, I shouldn't laugh. Why am I
Yeah.
laughing? I'm sorry.
So I'm carrying this bag of like, leftover food, and I'm waiting to find one. We get to the subway, and this, hunched over. He was hunched over. He wasn't super old, but you could tell he'd had a rough way.
A little scruffy.
Had a rough way about him. And I go, oh, here's one.
Here's one. God, can we?
Sorry.
Yeah.
So
Like they're props in our story.
yeah.
It's just, yeah, we're terrible people. Continue.
Yeah, beside the point. So I walk up to him with the bag, and I said, do you want some food? And he literally looked at me and just glossy. He didn't answer me right away. And I asked again, I go, do you want some food? And I pointed the bag towards him, and he looked at me and goes, what kind of food is it? And I go, free.
He was a picky man.
And he ended up taking it. I go, it's Chinese food. And he goes, well, and he paused and he goes, okay.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God, just take the farging bag. Jesus Christ.
Maybe he wasn't homeless. Maybe he just needed to eat.
I should have ripped it back and went like, you know what? No. I'm going to go take that back to my 5-star hotel and eat it later tonight.
Oh,
I'm going to eat it with my tiramisu that's been sitting there waiting for me in the refrigerator. and use my $10 refrigerator credit. Bastard.
Wow, that was funny.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Okay, well, I would love to continue that holiday tradition in some way, like maybe travel
Yeah.
around that season next year, perhaps.
And then I started ending the trip with accents and stuff. I'm not sure why I started that. But I started doing like the English accent, and I started doing a real heavy hillbilly accent when I got to the airport.
Just because you're in a place where you could literally be anyone from anywhere.
That's it. Like every second person was speaking Russian
Exactly.
or Swahili or whatever they were speaking.
Yeah, the most diverse city in our country.
Yeah. So I started talking like a hillbilly at the airport. I'm like, that tree looks good, don't it? Or I'd say, sneak yourself back in there, get a picture with it, ain't it? I started saying stuff like that. Yeah.
And everyone was staring.
And then I just would randomly look at her when we'd pass somebody and go, do you know what?
What?
Do you know what?
What?
And she'd be like, where we go? I go, that tablet up there says gate 8, whatever. And then she would say something. I go, well, piss off.
You could have pretended to have been like a high exec,
Yeah.
a high Hallmark exec. Be like, I'm here scouting for our next
Right.
our next Christmas
Our most
script,
Hallmark movie.
scouting the city for that high, fast-paced job that girl's
Yeah.
going to leave to go to her hometown.
That's right. So,
my God.
yeah, it was a good trip, though. It was fun.
Well, speaking of Hallmark and movies, I think we're going to end the show by talking about something I know that we talked about last year, but you really wanted to talk about it today again because we have new listeners since last year.
That's right. We have a lot of new listeners since last year.
We do, actually. Actually, we do. You want to talk about one of our unique to our family traditions.
And the main reason is because I feel like 99% of the people we bring this up to have zero clue what we're talking about. And I still don't understand.
I still don't understand either.
I'm like, why do we know all these different versions and you don't know one? I
Why
don't understand it.
Why did everyone not grow up watching all of the Christmas carols?
So first of all, thanks Joe and Terry for, making us know this much about it so we can flex a little.
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking about the Christmas Carol.
Okay. We are not weird. All y'all are weird.
We're not wrong. You're wrong. A Christmas Carol. It's just something that's uniquely special, like you said, to our family. There's multiple versions, as people apparently don't know.
I know.
They don't even know there's one version, much less more than 10.
And when I would bring it up to students during my teaching days, the most common response I would get would be like, well, I've seen the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh,
I'm like,
get off it.
Okay, sure.
Get off it. I mean, I can act like I like that one, but only because I can speak to the other 20 that are important.
It was so important to me that as a teacher, I would teach, we would read A Christmas Carol and do like a quiz over
Right.
whatever. Like, that's how important it was to me.
Permission to cough.
Please do.
Gracias.
God.
That was for our Honduran listeners.
God.
Yeah, so I don't understand the lack of I don't understand the lack of knowledge of it, number one. I don't understand the lack of
Enthusiasm.
Passion. I watch one version every morning. This is my thing. I watch a certain version every morning when I'm downstairs drinking my coffee, and I watch a different version, different version, every night when I go to bed, purposely. I start my day with the 1938 Reginald Owen version, who is a friend of Lionel Barrymore, who was in It's a Wonderful Life and was tagged to be that Scrooge in that version.
Oh, was he?
He was, but he had a conflict. He either had a conflict or he got hurt, one of the two. So he, because he couldn't do it, told them, hey, I have this friend, this British actor, Reginald Owen, who was also in Mary Poppins after, years later. So Lionel Barrymore, I guess as history has it, in the 30s, maybe even just a little bit before that, he would do a radio rendition, like a narration of A Christmas Carol.
This is new to me.
And that's why they picked him, because families were familiar with his voice and doing it. And because he couldn't, he was like, I got the...
And in the 30s, you're talking about the new age of motion pictures.
Exactly. And we talked about that in the holiday episode.
The talkies.
Yeah. And so he probably, to Reginald Owen's, wonderful surprise, picked his friend to do it in Reginald Owen. That's one of the main things he's known for.
That's great.
So I watched
So
that
we
version
grew up watching the 1938 version.
because a lot of people don't know the 38 version, but it's more of like an upbeat, fun.
It's jaunty.
It's a jaunty version, and the Tiny Tim is kind of theatrical. He's like a theatrical type of
right, and
actor.
the actors themselves are quite theatrical.
Yeah.
You could turn the volume off and still kind of know what's going on because they're
Exactly.
so expressive, and that's
Exactly.
because these were actors who are coming out of the silent film
yep.
era.
So you kind of
In
have
fact,
to overact a little bit.
This morning, I watched Scrooge from 1935, which is it was a colored and restored version, but it still had that sort of gentle flicker of a silent film.
Yes.
So that was kind of
Love
cool.
that. But for multiple reasons, I love that version. Reginald
So you
Owen-
watched that in the morning.
I watch that in the mornings, and then I watch the George C. Scott 1984 version at night.
You know, I would say if I had to rank them in terms of like favorites, it would be really hard to choose between those two. Those two in particular are my favorites as well.
Yeah.
And I watched them multiple times through the season.
Yeah, so that's kind of my thing. George C. Scott, I think, probably in my opinion, did the best version of Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge. I think in the industry, as I've read, I think that critics say that Alistair Sims' 1951 version, they say he did kind of the best rendition of Ebenezer Scrooge's character.
His Scrooge
His is most authentic to what it was supposed to be.
His Scrooge was more vulnerable.
Yeah.
There was a vulnerability in him. Whereas in most other versions of A Christmas Carol, the Ebenezer Scrooge character is just like hard, and then he cracks at the end. But Alistair Sims had that quality of vulnerability all throughout in just little tiny nuance. So I see that. I can definitely see that.
In that version, again, it's going to be hard to kind of for people to relate if they're not super familiar, but that Alistair Sim version got super detailed in some of the scenes that you don't see in other versions.
Right.
It really goes in depth about the Fezziwig, sort of like how his business went under and who picked it up. And young Scrooge, they showed the scene where he was in his sister's like dying bedroom.
Yes.
And you don't see that in a lot of the other versions. And
Yeah.
so there were certain details in that version that I liked that they included.
He was more human. His
Yeah.
Scrooge was more human. He was more like, he wasn't this flat one-dimensional miser and then suddenly happy.
Right.
He was, you saw all aspects of his
Yeah.
humanity.
But the Dickens story, I think, was like 1847. The story itself is pretty sound, but then some of these versions are like just different adaptations of it. So like one version, young Scrooge's sister might be older. In some versions, she
There
might
are
be really
all
little.
sorts of little changes
Yeah.
here that you and I would notice.
We would notice.
Nobody else
Yeah,
would.
like I think one version her name's Fran, and one version it's Fan.
It's Fan.
It's just kind of like one of those things. But the story
She's
itself,
old. She's young.
yeah, but the main story itself is kind of the same. He sees the Christmas past, ghosts, the present, the future.
I could pick bits and pieces from each Christmas Carol that we love. Mickey's Christmas Carol
Oh, yeah.
and the Muppets Christmas Carol, to its credit, is actually really funny. But there's the not Alistair Sim, but the old guy Albert Finney.
Which, by the way, he was like 36 in that version. In 1970, he was
Kill
like
me now.
He was like 34, 36 or something like that.
And I recently saw that Kelsey Grammer did one. I haven't seen that, and I love Kelsey
Yeah,
Grammer.
the Albert Finney one's more of like a delightful musical.
It's a musical,
and
yeah.
I think Kelsey Grammer's is similar.
Even who's the Fonz?
Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler did An American Christmas Carol.
Right. Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart, that's a good
He
one.
did a 1999 version.
That's a good
Dad
one.
really likes that one.
Yeah.
It also has some detail.
That
in
one's
there,
probably the closest to the book.
And as I've read, he's one of the oldest ones, meaning like Reginald Owen was only 51, but the prosthetics you could tell on some of his scenes. I mentioned Albert Finney was like 34, 35, 36. Alistair Sim was only 50. Can you believe that?
Damn.
Alistair Sim was born in 1900.
You are just a couple years away from being qualified as a Hollywood Scrooge.
I can't believe it. But like Patrick Stewart was like 57, 59, I think.
That version is very true too. And I do like the, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the animation part of it.
Right.
But I remember Dad taking us all to the theater with our kids,
Yep.
and we all got the 3D glasses and watched Jim Carrey's version.
Jim Carrey, yeah.
That's very true to the book.
That's very true to the book. But like George C. Scott was only 57.
Wow.
And he just does not look 57.
Wow.
That movie. But even Mary Beth and I we're so passionate about it that we even talk about like the different Tiny Tims. Like
that's what I was
observe things that
like,
maybe others
you
don't.
could lay them all out and we could each pick our favorite Marley, our favorite Scrooge.
I bet you and I have the same favorite Tiny Tim. It's in the George C. Scott version. Has to be.
Yeah. That's the one that we quoted the most growing up.
But some of the Tiny Tims
I'm
are
waiting for my father.
Yeah, some of the Tiny Tims are too big. They're too tall.
Oh,
too big.
right. Well, I think the 1938 Tiny Tim was too big.
Yeah, he was too fluffy and too big.
Too fluffy
Too
and
tall and too fluffy.
Yeah.
But the Alistair Sim Scrooge was lean and tall.
Mm-hmm.
He was like taller than his mom, who was also in Mary Poppins, by the way. But the Tiny Tim and George C. Scott was tiny. He was
I like the
itty-bitty.
Bob Cratchit in the George C. Scott.
Love him.
And
Yeah.
he played the villain in Titanic.
Yes, he did.
And see, when we saw the Titanic, we're the only ones in the theater going,
That's
hey,
Bob Cratchit."
That's Bob Cratchit.
Yeah, we're such nerds. Well, like the Bob Cratchit and Reginald Nolan. That's the Lassie's mom. What's her name?
June Lockhart.
June Lockhart's dad. And June Lockhart is one of his kids in that movie.
She's in the Chestnuts.
And their mom is Cratchit's wife. So it's like a family affair in that one. I really like. So
we are nerds,
We
man.
are
Just
total
hearing us talk
nerds.
about it.
and Roger Reese does the narration for the George C. Scott. He's the Fred in that movie, and he was also in Cheers.
Right.
He was Kirstie
Robin.
Yeah. So I don't know. Obviously we could talk a whole episode about it.
Yeah.
but
There's a
it's-
gigantic network.
Exactly. And we even remade that. Okay. We don't have to go into depth about it, but just so everybody's clear, when I was 12 years old or 11 years old, we did a Christmas Carol version that we filmed ourselves because we
This
thought
just
that was
idea came to us.
because we thought that was something that we should do.
It was an idea that came to us on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we did it during Thanksgiving break.
And we had 4 days off.
Mm-hmm.
So we had our cousins, Mandy and Steven, join us to.
They spent the night with
They
us.
spent the night because
Every
this
night.
was a multi-day shoot.
Yeah, because we thought it was going somewhere. We were going to go somewhere with it.
And we
It was our calling to do this.
were very careful about keeping the entire production all in the basement. So we spent that whole weekend in the basement. Mom and Dad knew we were up to something, but we were being very hush-hush, and the production was very secretive. We went through the storage room in the basement to find garments,
Oh, yeah.
wardrobe. I mean, the setting. We had
detail.
Scrooge's office. We had Scrooge's room and his bed. We had the streets of England.
We had Dad's vampire cape used as the Ghost of Christmas Future.
Oh, dear.
We even had the tombstone. We had Steven wearing a sport coat with a hat. The new kids on the block.
And you had on one of Dad's, like, coats and blazers and turtlenecks for...
Oh yeah, and I had on the purple robe with a white ruffled moo thing you guys had.
No, it was one of Mom's white ruffly nightgowns.
Yes,
But it looked perfect as an 1800s
yeah,
dressing gown
yeah.
for a gentleman.
And I had that stuffed animals like cap,
We took a cap
the Christmas
off of
cap with the ball on it.
it's a literal nightcap
Yeah,
off of a bear
and I put it on my head,
and put it on your head.
and I looked like Scrooge from Reginald Nolan.
And we
1938.
used our sister's stereo because her bedroom was in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
So her stereo was our soundtrack. So we'd play that in the background. So we had music playing all throughout. Who was the director, Joe?
I mean, it was you. You directed every piece of it.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
Yeah, but I did like how we incorporated different versions in it. So
Yeah.
we had multiple versions. Like I would act like Scrooge from the original one time. They would act like George C. Scott another time.
Now, Mandy and Steven needed a lot of help and a lot of direction because there was no script. The script was in our heads.
Yeah, it was in our heads, and they weren't about that life. They didn't know what Christmas Carol like.
No,
we
they
did.
didn't.
Yeah,
But I loved how we knew it word for word. So scene by scene, we were telling everybody what to say.
yeah,
And we were using the exact scripted versions
in our head.
in our head.
It's so funny.
I mean, it was incredibly well done.
It was.
And I learned on our family camcorder, because that's what we called them back then, camcorder.
The fade in, fade out.
It had built-in features like fade in, fade out, and we used them to make it look very cinematic.
We got so excited when we learned of it. Like when we figured it out, we got so excited.
What ended up happening was we had this finished product that we had to stay silent about until Christmas night when we were at Grandma's and Grandpa's.
And this was Christmas of 1991, folks. This was back in the day.
So we had this VHS tape of this amazing production. And on Christmas night, we put it in the VCR and we surprised our grandparents and our parents.
And
they went
loved it.
Nuts.
It could have been the worst performance production of all time, and they just loved it.
They were laughing, crying, tears through laughter at how cute it was.
And they're like, we have to watch this every year, so we made it a thing.
It became a thing. It became part of our family tradition every year.
Yeah. And I thought it was such a good production and a good idea that I offered it up to my English teacher, Miss Beatty, in 7th grade.
How embarrassing.
I said, you need to show this to the class because it's Christmas time. And she showed it.
Oh, I'm embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed for us. And I want you to know that I was sitting there watching it intently like,
yeah.
How did I do? How's my performance? I was looking around.
And you're looking around for reactions?
What's the reaction? And all the kids are like, what the hell is it?
I'm so embarrassed for
Miss
us.
Beatty showed it in her class.
Ugh.
I know, but even worse, we'd start dating people in like middle school, high school, or whatever, and they'd come to our Christmases, and we'd have to watch it.
And because we had no control at that, it had become something beyond our control.
Oh, you don't have a say in this anymore.
It had become more powerful than us.
Yes.
And so it had to be a part of the introduction of like who you were dating. Like, sorry, this is a thing.
Right. So hopefully you like me after you see this.
And so then it would become more embarrassing.
Yeah. So that was embarrassing.
But then we got embarrassed enough at a certain age.
Right. Where it just started becoming like a.
Where we decided we need a new version.
We need a new version. And we did one when our kids were little.
So saying it out loud, I thought maybe that would have been sort of a redemptive thing for us, but no, it makes us sound even geekier.
Yeah, we're even dorkier.
Because we were married and had children at that point.
Right.
But we decided, let's make an updated version and let's include our children.
But this time, we were adults, and we actually did like on-site, on-location shooting.
We went on location.
We went to an actual cemetery, just so everybody's clear.
We still did Thanksgiving weekend
Yeah.
with the help of my former sister-in-law, Maggie. She did a lot of the camera work for us. And we went to the Humana building
We went
where
to my
you
former
worked.
we went to my office of my former employer.
After hours.
Yes.
We went to your home. I got to film you, in the car. So we just did a modernized version, which was like Christmas Carol, but then we sort of injected kind of It's a Wonderful Life vibes, because you were also getting a chance to see her life had you never met your wife and had your kids.
Right.
So there was a little bit of that.
Yeah.
So at the end, it wasn't so much Scrooge and Bob Cratchit. It was Scrooge coming home to his family and being appreciative of what he had.
Yes.
So it was a blended kind of story.
But we had fun with it. We laughed about it.
Oh, it was so
We weren't doing
fun.
it for like serious purpose, like we need to show this to people. We were just doing it to have fun and like be silly.
Yeah.
So that was a fun week.
That was 2008.
Yeah. It was 2008.
Oh my God. It's hard to believe that one was almost 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. But by then, the technology was pretty slick. You were editing.
I didn't edit in camera. I had my own editing suite, because I was teaching
so you put,
media.
Like, credits to it and the Alone, that little Home Alone background music.
I added Home Alone music to give it some sort of a haunting kind of feel. Mm-hmm. So there were effects and things that I was able to do like in a legit way.
We should enter that in festivals.
Yeah, but it's so cute because our kids were teeny tiny little toddlers.
Yeah. So if that didn't make you understand our dorkiness for that movie or that story, it like took on a complete life of its own.
But if you guys don't have I feel like everybody should have something unique to their family this time of year that is special to them. Some kind of tradition that's carried on.
Yeah, you gotta.
And that for us, that's one of the biggest and pretty unique.
Yeah. So that in 20 years, you can have your own podcast and talk about your traditions that you need to start building now.
Yeah, make a movie and watch it every year.
Yeah. Maybe make 2 different ones at different times of your life.
Or whether it's, baking with, a sibling or having an ugly sweater party. We all have to create something that makes the season what it is,
Merry and bright.
Merry and bright.
Well, Mary Beth, this was fun.
I had a great time. Looking back on our holiday traditions. That really rips, dude. That are
All right,
cozy
Josh.
and cozy and cuddly.
Cuddly.
Well, thank you for this conversation, and thank you so much for listening to another piece of the Gen X experience worth saving. Our special holiday traditions, old and new, have now been immortalized in the annals of history. If you like what you heard, subscribe to the Best of Gen X wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. Joe, always a pleasure.